Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Trying to get settled in here and get started for the morning. Let's see. Been a busy weekend. Anyway, good morning. This is Dave's Shop. I'm Dave. Thank you for joining me for Morning Coffee Talk Live. A lot of stuff went on over the weekend, it looks like. And yeah. So I'm going to let everybody grab their coffee, kind of wake up on Monday morning. We'll see what everybody wants to talk about. Quick reminder that we are having a giveaway, and I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. GMZ, thank you for joining this morning. Good morning. Like I was saying, I'm just giving everybody a quick second to grab their coffee and kind of wake up. You know, Monday mornings, it seems like everybody's half asleep. Morning, God. Hey, man, what's up? Christine, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Like I said, I'm giving everybody a quick second to wake up and grab their coffee. Nothing important. Yeah. Bella Rose, thank you for joining. Hey, Bella, how you doing? There's a few of us that are up this time of the morning. Thanks for the like. I appreciate that. Hey, if you're new here, like always, let me know where you're from. I can tell you here in Central Texas, it's going to be another scorcher today. We've been having 82 to 85 degree afternoons, so it's been warming up quite a bit. I believe our winter is over. They are saying that maybe later in the week we'll get some rain, which we are desperate. We've been in a drought for quite some time. We really do need to rain. Dale Carpenter just joined. Hey, Dale, how you doing? And so, you know how that works. So, you know, we kind of had a lot that went on this weekend with our military and Israel and all of that going on. Anybody got any questions about that or thoughts about that they want to talk about? No? It's typical Monday. Everybody's half asleep. That's okay. I figure we'll get some stuff going. Bone just joined. Brian just joined. Hey, man, how's it going? Shar, Mangus, Chase joined. Shar joined. Hey, guys, how y'all doing this morning? Y'all jump in here. Grab your coffee. If you missed the live Friday, we did do Trivia Friday, and I think we had a pretty good turnout. Scala, Sophie, how you doing? Good morning. Big timer. Good morning. Thank you for joining us over here on YouTube. I appreciate that. Just going to be another Iraq. Yeah, I really don't know how to take all this. Seems like we just go from one war to another. I don't know. All eyes on me. Hey now. Good morning. Hey, all eyes on me. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Yeah. Big time. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. It's Monday morning for everyone who has to go to work. So, hey, real quick, let's cover this. If you're new here, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff because all of that's free. For my YouTubers, gifts and super chats are available, and we have been getting some super chats, and so I really appreciate that. And I've got a video I'm going to post later today showing you what your gifts and super chats and that type of stuff are going towards. I talked about it some last week about having to move my setup. And hopefully this is the last time I'm going to move it, because it's quite an ordeal to have to pack up all your stuff and move to a different location. If you're old enough to know, hang on, guys, I'm just reading something more guy posted. Yeah. So I don't know. Of course, good morning, Casey. How you doing? Hey, Casey, tell me what part of the country you're in. Hey, guys on YouTube. So Casey is over here on TikTok, and he's our cross-country truck driver, and so he's always in different parts of the United States. So I never know if he's just listening and having to drive. If so, he can't really text much. But if he's in Minnesota. Okay, so Casey's in Minnesota picking up another load. Last week he was all the way down in Arizona. So it seems like he goes back and forth. NG Productions, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Anyway, so for your YouTuber super chats, gifts, they're available, and they're for likes, share, and subscribe are free. Hit the little emoji icons and send some hearts. That always helps push out the live. And just so everybody knows, I'm trying to reach 10,000 followers on TikTok and YouTube. That seems to be the magic number if you're an affiliate, and I am an affiliate on both. We just don't sell anything on live. We do show products on live, and mainly because if I show products, sometimes it's for a giveaway, and other times it's so that if I talk about them during the live, YouTube turns the live into a full video, and then I can link them to the video. And if anybody's ever interested in anything like that, they can always check those out. Thanks, Bella. So all of that support really helps. And like I said, I have a video I'm going to post later, just kind of showing you that your contributions and support are doing things to keep me going. and pay, because so initially, if you've been on the show, been here a lot, you know that I work out of half of my garage, and that's fine when the weather's not 100 and something degrees. And so I've been looking at different avenues of insulating and doing putting some type of air conditioner in here so that it would be more comfortable during the hottest part of the year, which is about 6 or 7 months out of the year most of the time in Texas. So what I looked at was that would have worked in this office was a mini split, and they wanted about $6,000 to $8,000 to install one. And so that was kind of out of my range. I also have a shop out behind my home, and it has power to it already. And so after, going back and forth and trying to decide what I was going to do, because it's going to require a lot of moving equipment around and that type of stuff to make room for an office space. But in that one, I can put in I can cut a hole in for a window unit, which is much cheaper than buying a mini split system. And so that's what I did. I caught one on sale, got a 10,000 BTU unit. And so what I'm doing currently is I'm insulating that building because it had partial insulation, but no insulation in the walls. So I'm having to make sure that I insulate all the walls and stuff. Lord Scone, hey man, what up? So Lord Scone, well, I was talking about having to move my office to my shop out behind the house, and so I'm prepping it now. And I'm supposed to pick up the AC unit because they didn't have them in stock, the one I wanted. So I think that's supposed to be here this Thursday or Friday. And then I'm working towards getting other stuff ready so that once it gets here, I can get it installed too. Yeah, amen. It's already been mid 80s, upper 80s in the afternoon. I think today they said it's going to be about 85. Ben, hey, how's it going? Kelly joined. Good morning, Kelly. We got Big Timer with us here on YouTube. Let's see. Pond Boy, Canada, Oregon. Hey, man, how's it going? Big Timer, thanks for the subscribe. I appreciate that. How you doing? Mm-hmm. All eyes on me. Hey, how's it going? Good morning. Sophie, good morning. Hello, how you doing? Hello, everybody. Yeah, R2D2 on TikTok. I mean, that's the elephant in the room, isn't it? That we all are going to see our gasoline prices jump because of all this stuff going on over in Iran. And a system. Morning, how you doing? Yeah, so it's 20. So Casey's in Minnesota, and he says it's 20 degrees there. Wow, that's cold. Well, it's nice and hot here, Bella. Case, Bella, it's 45. I think I looked outside earlier. It was like 70 already, and I think it's supposed to be 82 to 85 degrees today. But possible rain Friday, Saturday, Sunday, especially Saturday and Sunday, of course. Bella's from Tennessee. All right. Bella, are you close to the Smoky Mountains? Rama, good morning. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, they're yeah, that country is in disarray. You know, I always sitting and reflecting yesterday morning, and I was thinking about all the children that are, maybe were awakened by bombs landing around them. Maybe not, hopefully not on them. I know because they said that there were some key strikes, but I think anytime you start having those kind of bombs shot at your city or country or wherever your general vicinity is, that it's not going to be good. And I just imagine the kind of trauma that puts on not just adults, but small children. There's a guy I follow on YouTube, and he, when he was a young boy, was from Iran. And, of course, he doesn't live there and hadn't in years, but he was saying that he still has certain PTSD because of that. And he even said that, children shouldn't ever be subject to that kind of trauma. Jay Chisel, good morning. Living the social sunshine. Oh, yeah. Yeah, bad actors in the government. Most people, they're just want to live in peace. Yeah, I agree. I think there was a lot. Of course, I really hadn't been keeping up with it, but they were saying 81% of the population in Iran wanted a new regime. Apparently, that guy's pretty bad, but and do I think we should have let them have nukes? I don't, because of just their history of being bad actors and doing bad stuff to people. These new operations are different than the old ones. They're pretty precise. Yeah, I know they are. But yeah. So hopefully, hopefully they don't have to continue to do that, and they're able to get that under control, and the people of Iran can, get things in a better situation there. Mustix, hello UNC. Hey man, how's it going? You look like talking what? You look like talking Ben. Okay. I'm not sure who you're talking about there, but I take that as a compliment. I appreciate it. Cesar, good morning. How you doing this morning? Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so let me see. Let's do a couple things. Just as a reminders, we do have a giveaway going. It is for Super Clean. Super Clean is going to, they are sponsoring this giveaway. To enter, you have to be 18, you have to be in the United States, and send me an email to Dave's Shop @gmail.com, and in the subject line, type in Super Clean. And then that way I know your name will be entered into the giveaway. And I believe what you'll get is they'll send you a can of the Super Clean, and then a 32-ounce bottle here. This bottle here is concentrate, and it can be diluted 16-to-1, depending on what you're going to use it for. I specifically use this one full strength on my outdoor barbecue grill. It works really good on, or any oil spot on the concrete floor of the garage or driveway. And then I'll use this. I use this spray a lot of times for cleaning engines and something that's vertical where I need to get to it. But for cleaning engines, I really like the spray. You can use this too, full bore, but the spray is my favorite for cleaning engines and stuff with. And then they have the foaming version, and I like to use this in the shop sinks where people wash their greasy, dirty hands, and also in the bathroom, tub, shower. It does a great job. So make sure that you get your email over to me so that you get entered in that giveaway. We're going to be taking entries all of this week, and then next week all the way up till Wednesday at noon. And that'll be the cutoff. And then on Thursdays live next week, we'll actually do the drawing. I'll send you an email, get all your information, and then forward that on to Super Clean. Their company's out of Minnesota, and they will directly ship you your Super Clean. So that's how this giveaway is going to work. Since it's sponsored by Super Clean, just to let you know that's how the process will work on that. So make sure you get your entries in. The first giveaway, we had quite a few. The last giveaway, there were some late entries there, but we got them all in. But we still didn't have maybe 10 or 12 entries. So I'd like to see this with a lot of entries. However, if you're not interested and you don't want to enter, because to enter is free, just send me the email. You have to be 18. You have to live inside the United States. No cost to you. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to be present at the time that we draw. We'd like for you to be, so that we can celebrate with you. But if you're not on the live when we draw, that's okay. We'll still contact you. When you send me the email, make sure that you include your first and last name so that I can, when I'm making all the paper that we use for drawing, I always like to write the first and last name on it. And sometimes I'll write your your handle on that paper too, just so that I can keep up with that. No, Jimmy, I'm sorry, they won't ship outside the United States. I wish that was available, but unfortunately, it's not. If you could if you could find me a company that would like out of Canada that would like to sponsor a giveaway, I'd be glad to do that. But yeah, unfortunately, you have to be inside the United States to participate. I'm sorry. Add a QA sticker. So yeah. So like I said, just as a reminder, get those in. There's no cost to you. We'll take care of Super Clean takes care of all the shipping, and just make sure you include your first last name. Subject line is Super Clean, and send it on, and that way I can start collecting ballots, and we'll do that all this week and all of next week till Wednesday at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, and then we'll go from there. I guess that's it. That's it on the giveaway for now. That's the direction. I'll remind everybody every day about it, and we'll go from there. So, got to run. Bella's got to go. Sorry, Bella, but I'm glad you stopped in. Appreciate you. Have a great day. Live in the social sunshine. You know, this morning it was like, let's see. So I had a really busy weekend. I hope everybody else had a good weekend. Jimmy, 45481 though. I appreciate you joining, and I really wish that we could do something like that, but unfortunately not on this one. And since I don't control it, it's going to be shipped directly from Super Clean. I'll have to ask though, because they are located in Minnesota. So, but I'm pretty sure they're not. From what they told me before, they won't ship outside the United States either. It's just that trying to get through customs with chemicals and stuff. Can you imagine? That's not a good deal. You know, if you had a U.S. address to ship to, that'd be different. So hopefully, I don't know if that helps you or not, but there you go. John McDonald, hey man, how's it going? Old Tommy boy just joined. What's up? So let me see what else. Anyway, so I'm going to put out a video later today. I've already shot it just to kind of let everybody know when you give gifts and when you give, and I think everybody knows this, if you give gifts or super chats or emojis on TikTok, that all of that generates cash flow. And I'm just showing you what I'm doing out in the shop, getting prepped to have to move and get that set up. Like I said, currently I'm working on, had to take a lot of stuff out of the shop to do the work. I had to remove stuff off the walls because they were not insulated, so that I could go back and insulate them. And then I'm putting stuff back as I go. I do have an AC unit purchased, so that's coming next week. And so hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll have the majority of that done. And then, you know, I'll have to transition to that from my garage out to my shop. And hopefully that'll be the last time I have to move. Oh, but the biggest thing that I did this weekend that was a nightmare is running internet from the house all the way out to the shop. And the you know, when you get to be an old guy and you have to get up and start climbing around in tight spaces in an attic, not fun. I've done it and I know how to do it, but I hate doing it. And my knees really hate it. Hey, Dave, I'm curious. You said chemicals are hard to get past customs. How did Jeff order? How did Jeff? I don't know who you're talking about. I could just give you my opinion based off my experience shipping to Canada. it can be difficult. Not always. It just depends on what you're shipping. But anyway. But on giveaways, most people are, most companies are not. It gets the shipping too expensive. So unfortunately the giveaway and the giveaways that we do here are based for everyone who's in the United States. Freedom Eagle, thank you for Jeffrey Epstein. Oh my God, I don't know. I don't keep up with that weirdo, and he's not here anymore, so couldn't tell you. I don't get unloaded till 8 a.m. So Casey, what are you picking up? Are you picking up something in Minnesota too, or are you just unloading there? But anyway, I'm posting that video, thanking everybody for the super chats. Got quite a few of them last week, and I just want to show you what your contributions and support are going to. That I'm actually doing work in preparation, and so all of those things like that are really helpful, in that you're not just willy-nilly sending super chats. So, and that they are appreciated, and they are. And same thing on TikTok when people give gifts. I really do appreciate that. I'm unloading the truck, pickup. Oh my God. So Casey's unloading in Minnesota this morning, and then he's got to go all the way back to the West Coast to pick up a load in California on Thursday. Wait, let me see if I read that right. I'm unloading the load. Oh, okay. He picked up a load in California last Thursday, and he's unloading it today in Minnesota. Okay, that makes sense. Casey drives east to west. Dang delays. Austin Yates, hey, thanks for joining this morning. Yeah. Jimmy D. I don't know where Jimmy D and Harry been. Harry, there he is. Hey, man, what's going on? Good to see you. Been a while. I'm glad to see you back. Yeah. Well, we're just talking about, so here we go. And everybody put something in the comments. Do you think gas prices are going to go up because of all of this? Because what I'm reading is they very well could be affected. If you want to get viewers, politics is where it is. Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate that. And we do talk about politics here. It seems like a lot lately, but really not because they're politics. We talk about them because they affect our day-to-day lives, and maybe indirectly, but they do affect stuff around us a lot of the time. So that's for sure. Some people can talk about politics and not get offended if somebody has a different perspective on it. And then some people can't talk about politics because they get mad if somebody doesn't agree with them. I can tell you here, you can have, thanks, Jimmy, appreciate that. You can have a difference of opinion as long as you're, civil about it. Anyway, there you go. Most of the people here, I would say, are conservative, a lot of Christians. So, and just, good everyday people. We just sitting here starting the day off. And Monday's always one of those days where it's like, oh, you got to get the week started. What do you do to wake people up on Mondays? I don't know. I don't sing. I'm not good looking. I do have a mustache. I do get compliments on that. But that only takes you so far. And you're right. Politics does a lot of times, get people stirred up. If gold goes up 5K, but gas stays $3, we didn't stay the same price. I don't know. Just became worthless, meaning and gas prices went down. Yeah. You know, I agree. Gas prices are all over the place. Tap, 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 everybody on TikTok. Let me see them hearts. If you want to join the fan club, send me one of them little heart emojis. There you go, like Jimmy D just did. It's one coin. There you go. There you go, YouTube. That's what I like to see. Thanks for joining the fan club. Yay. Let's see what else. Do have the last training with YouTube out of Los Angeles on Thursday. Maybe it's Wednesday this week. Wednesday or Thursday this week, which will complete the boot camp training I've been going through for the last, well, this week will be 8 weeks. And it's been really eye-opening. So, but you know what's funny about it? As not that I haven't learned anything from the YouTube staff, I have, but where I have gotten the most eye-opening stuff are from other creators. I've learned as much from other creators and what they do and the kind of struggles that they see. Austin Yates, thanks for the follow, buddy. Appreciate that. Like I said, all subscribe, like, share, follow. We're trying to get to that 10K mark. So anything you can do is muchly appreciated. Go check out some of my other videos. Don't forget, I do a question of the day every day, and or something similar to that. It could be would you rather, it could be this or that, but usually it's question of the day, and I'll post some stuff out there. So go check those out. Those are shorts and don't take up a lot of time, but they are very meaningful. Just, you know, try to bring people in and introduce them to what we do, the morning show. So anyway, good morning. Ed, how you doing? Good morning. Maybe have a pot of coffee brewing in front of you. Yeah. Definitely coffee on Monday mornings is a must. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so, you know, Freedom Eagle, I agree that talking about politics is gets people watching, and I fully understand. You know, I don't really know how to take what happened over the weekend. You know, is it a bad thing? Is it a bad thing that turns into a good thing? I don't know. You know, I don't think I surely wouldn't want Iran to have nukes. I'm definitely a proponent of them not having that, just because of their past behaviors. Oh, looky there. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that, Austin and Nicole. Y'all are rocking. Good morning. Thank you for joining. There you go, Austin. How about that? TikTok cap. I like that. I wish TikTok actually had one of those caps. I'd probably wear it. But anyway, yeah, you know, so I mean, you know, we're hopefully that part of it's done, and you know, maybe they can move towards a more of a democratic type election, and get somebody over there. However, history does not point to that. Maybe politics is one of those subjects that benefits from those talking to be in a relationship. God, I hope so. You know, Ed, it's like Casey Carr, 188. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hey, let us know where you're from if you're here new. Maybe if you're up north, tell me how cold it is, because it's hot as heck in Texas, and it's I think our winter time's done. It's supposed to be in the mid 80s today. We are in a drought here in Central Texas, and hopefully they're saying Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday we'll get some good chances of rain, somewhere between 1 and 3 inches, and we desperately need it. Yeah, it's a few years, but they'll be right back creating terrorists. Yeah. Also seems to expose the depth of the relationship. Yeah, you know, it's been, Yeah, it's crazy how that's just been on and on and on. Allen, Texas. All right, you're just up the road here. I'm just north of Austin and Pflugerville. Like they always say here, we're between the Rock and a weird place. That's Pflugerville. You ever down this part of the country, stop in Round Rock Donuts. If you want a good donut, they've been all over the news worldwide. Great place to get a donut. I mean, they got a Texas-sized donut, guys. This thing is huge. I mean, it'll feed 2 or 3 people. Let's see, to expose the depth of the relationship. Yeah, I think the U.S. and Iran have gone back a long way, and apparently, unfortunately, there's been a lot of bad blood back and forth, and regime changes and all of that. So, yeah, I at this point, I don't know where I'm at. I would really, I think I would like for there not to be U.S. boots on the ground, because I think if we get to that point and there are U.S. boots on the ground, this could be a long and drawn out process that will cost who does it always cost? American taxpayers, because all those bombs and missiles and all that stuff, those don't cost $100. They cost millions of dollars that we pay for. And so I know we have to keep America safe, and I definitely want that, but the American taxpayers will fund it all. You got it. Kid Charlie Mang, 5793. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning, Dave. About the clock in for a long shift, 3 hours of sleep. Oh man, that's a killer. I'm just going to call you Charlie. Hey, Charlie, that's a killer of 3 hours of sleep, and you're fixed to punch in for a long shift. I'm sorry. I hope you get through that shift. I don't know what you do for a living, but even if you've only had 3 hours of sleep, and you're in an office working an 8-hour day, it can be that 8-hour day can feel like much longer. So drink lots of coffee. Oh, you teach high school? Oh, OMG. Well, you could probably be like most high school students on Monday morning. You could just pass out something and not say anything, and y'all could all take a nap for an hour or two. That's what they'll look at their phones and sleep and do pretty much everything except for what they should be doing. But my mom's a principal at Plano High School. How about that? Freedom Eagle. Hey, the kind of people in Plano, right? Plano people. That joke's been going around forever. I know where Plano's at. I grew up in Rowlett, so that part of the country I'm very familiar with. My mother lived in Mesquite. My aunt still lives there. But I moved in 74 when our family moved here. This is the part of the country I've been in for the longest. As a young American man, if my boots have to hit, do we actually know what we're fighting for anymore? Nathan, I hope that if you're in the military, Nathan, I hope that does not happen. I would prefer that we not have our ground troops there, because I think that's just going to make this much longer. Hey, Dave, that was me on YouTube. Casey, that was you on YouTube, huh? You were switching back and forth on me. That's funny. You're a trickster there, Case. Thanks for the roses. So let's see what else. We talked about the giveaway. Make sure everybody gets their entry in. Send me an email, daveshop2@gmail.com. Subject line super clean. Take care of that. Get your name in the hat so that we can get that going. The winner of if you weren't here on Friday, CalCop won the trivia contest, so I'll be sending that stud finder his way here pretty quick. I thought I had a box to ship it in, and I didn't, so I had to wait to get a box. And if your house is like mine, Amazon shows up every other day, and there's always somebody getting something from Wells. All right. Thank you for joining us. 14, is it Iron Riding? 1461. Thanks for joining us all the way from Wells. You're more than welcome here. Great. I'm back, LOL. So Casey's switching back and forth between YouTube. I like that, Casey. Casey's going back and forth between YouTube and TikTok. Hey, y'all give Casey a follow because he needs all the support he can get. He does his lives usually at night at the end of the day. Oh, man. Thanks, Nicole. I appreciate that. And so, you can join him at night and get a true perspective on what it's like to be a long haul truck driver traveling across the United States, back and forth, the weather, and what it's like to be inside one of those big 18 wheelers and that be your home 4 weeks out of every month, or 4 weeks at a time, I should say, with a 2 or 3 day break in between. But tough way to make a living, but thank God we have people that do what he does, because otherwise when you went to the store, there wouldn't be anything on the shelves. I couldn't imagine being a truck driver. I know. I hate going to the grocery store. Everybody hates going to the grocery store because when you get up to checkout, and it's like $200-$300. You go to the grocery store. Used to, you could walk out with a couple of bags of a few items and it was $20. And now you walk out with 2 or 3 bags and it's $100. So yeah, I know the pain of going to the grocery store. Yeah. Dustin Children 15 just joined on TikTok. Hey man, what's up? I'm back over here. That's funny. So I didn't really have a whole lot planned this morning. I like I said, I had a busy weekend running that network cable from up in the attic. And it's the connections at the front of my property, so I had to run it all the way to underneath the soffit. I had to come in from the soffit to get to the attic, and then all the way down underneath the soffit, down the back side of the house, and then I had to bury a 40 foot of conduit pipe to run from the house over to the shop. And I purchased Cat 5 cable that could be direct buried. It was a little more expensive, but I didn't want to just direct burying it in the ground, because I've got some experience with dealing with that. If you ever have a problem, even though they say it's fine to do that way, there's different things that can happen to it. So I find it's best to encase it. So I put it in some Schedule 40 conduit. It's actually electrical conduit that I used. Ran it over to the shop, tied it in, got that done, and yeah. So fun in the sun on Saturday. I started about probably 8:30 or 9 and finished about 4:30 or 5 Saturday afternoon. I had to take a little break during the heat of the day because it got pretty hot outside. And when you're digging 40 feet of trench, that'll wear you out pretty quick in the sun. So big on since February 2nd, not made it home yet. Dang. So Casey's been on the road a month already. Dang, Casey, it's time to go home for 3 or 4 days, buddy, if you can. What you need to do is get them to pick you up a load somewhere and take it to like Laredo or down south San Antonio, something like that. And then you could just zip on to the house. Yeah, for sure. Ruled by Saturn. Good morning. It's Monday. So hey, I have a question. What do you do on Mondays? I mean, like, because since January the 2nd, I don't I'm not currently employed. This is what I do. Now, I do get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning and try to get awake enough so that I can do this. But after this is over, my day's pretty flexible. I can pretty much just do whatever. I've been doing a lot of projects, painting, which I hate to paint. Does anybody like to paint? Anybody? If you like to paint, put something in the chat. I hate to paint. I can paint. I know how to paint, but I hate painting. Pippi joined on TikTok. Hey, Pippi, how's it going? Pray for Friday. Yeah, that's what everybody does on Monday. Pray for Friday. What do you do on Sunday to prep for? I try not to think about Monday at all until probably after supper on Sunday, and everybody kind of sits down, and the weekend's kind of past us, and then you start, or my mind automatically goes to Monday. And I want to tell you, doing lives, Monday is the hardest day of the week. Good morning, Kim. How you doing this morning? Monday's the hardest day of the week for me to think of stuff to talk about. Now, of course, there's politics going on and the attack on Iran. So, there's something, but I don't really, I'm not to the point where I really have a stance one way or the other. I wish it didn't have to get to what it's gotten to. My only stance is, yeah, I agree. Iran shouldn't have nukes because they are a bad actor. But past that, I just don't keep up with what's going on in that part of the world. And I mean, in the Middle East, there's been chaos for hundreds of years, and I just don't know that that a whole lot more than just protecting the United States is what we should be working on. But maybe we're doing the right thing. I just don't have a good perspective on it. Ed, I always like Ed's perspective because it's always really knowledgeable, and so Ed, I'm asking you, if you got time, post something in the chat and tell me, what's your perspective on this? Anybody on YouTube, if you have a perspective on what happened over the weekend, the U.S. Bombing Iran, the U.S. and Israel, I mean, you think it's a good thing, a bad thing, necessary? What do you think? And it's really funny too, because last week during Bible study, Ed made a comment about, we talk about politics, and we had talked about politics a whole lot of it. And so, we have, and it just seems like there's a lot of that in the news today. I don't know, maybe the media, they talk about that because that's what people seem to thrive on. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that shooting in Austin? Yeah, they had a bad shooting in Austin, and here's a little insight, Nicole. They arrested a guy here in Pflugerville that was, they think part of that was had something to do with what's going on in Iran, like a terroristic type deal. What they said was the guy drove by on 6th Street, fired a semi-automatic pistol at patrons coming out of the nightclub, and then parked, got out of his car, had an assault rifle, and started shooting at people. They injured 14, killed 3, and then the local, of course, luckily, Austin PD was on site pretty quick, and 2 of the officers shot and killed the guy. So, will we ever really know what he's doing? I don't know. But I mean, that just goes, you see all of this bad stuff happen in other countries. Well, bad stuff happens in the United States. And what happens here is that you could be on the street totally innocent, and some nutcase come by and start shooting at you. Now, that's terrible. That's not good anywhere. I don't care what country you're in. That's terrible. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, I personally think, so a lot of people like hoodies. I hate them. I don't wear them. My granddaughters like them. The young kids seem to like them. I think they should be outlawed. I don't think you should be able to cover your face like that. And that's what a lot of them do. They put their hoodies up, and it's kind of like got their head down, and it's kind of their way of saying, I don't want to communicate. I think, I don't know. I don't care what kind of gun laws they make. Criminals will always have access. You're right, Nicole. So, like I said, I've always said this: guns don't kill people. People kill people. Guns are just a tool. I just don't know. I don't like hoodies. Do y'all like hoodies? I'm more afraid of the police than the hoodlums. Why are you afraid of the police? So just give you a background so that you understand my stance. I've been around police officers and a police family for all my life. And for the most part, do I support bad actors that are police officers? Absolutely not. But I'm here to tell you that most police officers are just like me, you, and the guy across the street. They want to go home at night. They want to go home at the end of their shift. You think that they want to shoot somebody? Oh, yeah, I'm going to work. I'm going to see if I can shoot 2 or 3 people. Trust me when I tell you that is the last thing on their mind, nor do they want to do that. But we put them in harm's way, and we put them in situations to deal with bad guys because we're not going to deal with them. We don't want to deal with them. That's why we have police. And a lot of times they're put into situations where they have to make split-second decisions. And, it's easy to sit on your couch and criticize and say, I'm afraid of them. I'm afraid of that. If you're not doing anything wrong, you ain't got nothing to be afraid of. If you do interact with a police officer, be respectful. They'll be respectful. Be smart aleck and act like an ass. They'll sometimes act just like that. So, just don't do that. Just always be calm and behave, and don't do anything dumb. You see this all the time. People say, oh my God, I feel sorry for these people who got shot by ICE. Well, why didn't they stay home? That would have kept them safe. But no, they have to agitate and irritate and get right in the middle of stuff. And, that's just not the place to be. If you want to stay safe, don't do that. It's just common sense. Yeah. Well, Nathan, I'm sorry you feel that way. I really wish that wasn't, but I'm just telling you that's my stance on it. If you don't get down there and do anything dumb, you're not probably ever going to have the most likely thing that could give you an interaction with a peace officer is if you were speeding or ran a red light or something minor, and all of those are minor. I mean, you might get a ticket, but Ivan from the Netherlands, hey man, how's it going? Thank you for joining us this morning. Most people don't like police or criminals. Most of the people that don't like police and criminals, just my opinion. Well, yeah, there you go. it's kind of one of those things that people have a love-hate relationship with them, I guess. When you want somebody, when somebody's breaking into your house in the middle of the night and threatening your life, what do? You call the police. You want them to deal with it so that you stay safe. But the first time they get in a bind and somebody's shooting them and they shoot back and kill them, or they do something that you don't think is nice, then it's like, oh, those sorry SOBs. And that's just not the case. When they had people blocking IH-35 throwing rocks, can you believe the liberal crap that they charged police officers for shooting rounds of beanbags at people, and they got sued? And who provided the beanbags? The city, the city that they were trying to protect. What about all the people that were blocking I-35 against the law, big time against the law? They should have put every damn one of them in jail and charged them to the max. You can't have that. You can't have chaos. Otherwise, you have what you see in Iran and other places like that. And I don't think that we want that in the United States at all. There again, y'all getting my blood boiling here on Monday morning. Gary joined. Hey man, how's it going? So I respect everybody's opinion, but I'm like, come on. Politics and this type of stuff, it's like, where's your common sense at? Just use your common sense. You can have a difference of opinion. No, I've called the police for my home being in. They didn't do anything. Made me feel like I didn't matter. I'm sorry. So Nathan, where are you from? So I hear stories about, and I've experienced some of that too. When in the workplace, when we had some bad people doing some bad stuff at work, and I called the police and they never showed up. And that's in Austin. And part of that is because we have police officers that are being charged with criminal offenses and drugged through the mud and ruin their career, ruin their personal life, and all because some liberal doesn't like what they were tasked to do with, which is, the law. And they get in a scrape and they're not supposed to defend themselves. That's not good. But if they do something to the suspect and somebody says, oh my God, did you see what he did to that guy? Yeah, but what you don't know is what initiated all of it. Maybe the guy spit on him. Maybe, hell, I don't know. I can tell you, I've done ride-alongs and I've been in a couple of scrapes where 1 minute everything's fine, the next minute you're fighting on the ground, a guy's trying to take your gun. So that's the part that the media doesn't share with you a lot of times. So you just don't know where that's going. But like I said, somebody's kicking in your door, you're calling the cops. You're not going to call the neighbor. You're not going to call your best friend. I guarantee you're going to call the cops. And if that guy has a gun and they confront him and they shoot and kill him, are you going to care? A lot of people do. They start immediately looking at fault. A police officer gets in a gunfight and shoots and kills somebody, instantly they're taken off the job. And they're under scrutiny, a lot of it, before they're ever let back. And some of these cities are so liberal that they want to charge them with crime for doing what they hired them to do. And that's what happens in Austin. And that's why police fail to respond to certain things. Because one, they've cut back on the police department and they're shorthanded. And two, they're scared that the city's going to charge them with something. They're going to lose their ability to make a living and support their family. I mean, come on. Wake up, everybody. I'm not saying every police person is perfect, because they're not. They're human. But man, It used to not be like that. People had a lot more respect for them. I think maybe not, maybe never. But I guarantee you let the shit hit the fan and see who you call. So you could talk all the crap you want to talk about policemen, but like I said, you let something hit the fan and you see who the first people you're calling for help. You know, I do see some of that. And I don't really justify it. But again, you need to understand, because the media only shows one side of it. If that were you in that situation, and all of a sudden, and you're just trying to tell somebody, hey, man, don't do that. Hey, come here. I want to talk to you. And a fight ensues. And in that fight, your adrenaline just goes through the roof, and you go into protection mode, and you start thropping the guy. Should they arrest you for assault? Or should it be, hey, that's self-defense? Well, what do you think police officers are? They get into those situations. And I'm telling you, it changes that quick. 1 minute can be a calm conversation. Next minute, the other person just loses their mind and the fight's on. And then, of course, you know, you can't control your adrenaline, and cops, you know, their adrenaline comes up and they're trained to protect. You know, they're not trained to just arrest you and subdue you. If you get too serious with them, they're trained to kill you, period, because they want to go home to their kids and their wife. I'm just telling you. So don't do stupid shit. And then you won't have that problem. Now, that said, yeah, there's always some bad apples, but I'm going to tell you, most police officers will tell you straight up, that was wrong, and I don't support that. But you can't let one bad apple, you know, and that's what the media shows you. Like, hey, this guy acted like a ding dong and did something bad, so all the police are bad. And that's just not the case at all. It is rare. It's just that the liberal media only wants to show you the stuff that gets people stirred up. So there you go. My 2 cents worth on it. Touchy subject. Yeah, it can be a touchy subject. There you go. I can tell you a story about making a traffic stop, and a guy's totally calm. They're standing outside the guy's car on the highway, and I'm sitting in the car. It's just a normal traffic stop. It's about probably 12:30 at night. You know, the guy might have been, I think it was a bit intoxicated, but not bad. And it goes from having a conversation to a fist fight on the side of the highway in the middle of nowhere, and the guy trying to get the officer's gun. And so then I had no choice but to get out of the car and try to help him, which is probably an absolute no-no if you're doing a ride-along. They always tell you do not get involved. But, I mean, the guy was probably twice as big as he was, and it wasn't going the police officer's way. So I'm just telling you, that happens, and more than you think. I mean, a calm conversation to boom, now we're in a fist fight on the side of the highway. Imagine this, and I don't know if Cal Cop's on here or not. He might not be. He's a retired DPS officer, and I can tell you, because I have personal experience with DPS officers, deputy sheriffs, Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission, a lot of other different things, but deputy sheriffs and DPS and even local police now, they all ride by themselves. But at least if you're local, your backup's pretty quick. However, if you're a deputy and you're out in the county somewhere, your backup might be 20 minutes out, 30 minutes, depending on how busy they are or where they're at or how many people are working. DPS, man, you go out in West Texas, you're out in the middle of nowhere, and it's you, and you. And if something gets out of control and you can't subdue the person, you know, you could be definitely hurt big time. and it happens. I had a girl I went to school with. Her dad was a DPS officer. Traffic stop. Guy gets out of the car, or he has the guy get out of the car. They're talking on the side of the road. It ensues in a fight. The guy pushes him out in the highway, and a drunk driver hits and kills him. Yep. He had 2 kids, young kids at the time. I never met that man. I just knew from his daughter and son. But yeah, so those things happen. So there's a lot of police officers that are out there on the roads by themselves. And so that just shows you how dangerous things can be and how something as simple as a traffic stop can get out of control quickly. Usually alcohol is involved, but maybe drugs or, I don't know. So are like teachers severely underpaid? Yeah. Well, they're paid better now than they used to be, but like small towns can't afford to pay them a lot of money. And that's why you see a lot of police officers say, hey, maybe I'll be a police officer in a small town where I don't have a lot of expectations, but the pay's not great either. I don't know. I think it depends on the individual. Who in this chat was present on DC on January the 6th, seeing it on TV and doesn't count? That was bad. That's people just getting out of control. Instant match. Oh my goodness. Isn't it crazy? I didn't think we'd go here this morning. This is not planned. Oh man. Neil Bell's joined. Nicole, thanks Nicole for jumping in there, and Casey too. I'll tell you, it's politics and police. I mean, some of it's just so controversial, and yeah, it can get, people get heated. I mean, even my wife and I sometimes will have a difference of opinion about stuff because she'll be listening to the media and it'll just, and she's conservative and still she lets that get to her. Anyway, so the Iran thing, I hope it's over quick. I don't really understand all there is to understand about it just yet. So I can't ask, hey, what's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on that? I mean, I did read this morning where they're saying that gas prices were probably going to go up because 20% of the crude oil travels through that area in the ocean. There's shipping lanes, and they feel like that, there could be some attacks there. I was just looking through the article I was reading. So far, just a quick snapshot of casualties: 555 plus in Iran, 12 in Israel, and 3 U.S. service members in Kuwait. Doesn't look like the airstrikes are over yet. I heard something about that they may last for a week. I'm not real sure. Mash, what do you want to do if we don't get a time machine yet? Oh, simpler times. We always say simpler times, things were simple, but politics have been around forever, and there's been a lot of good stuff that's happened, and there's not some so good stuff that happens. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, you just never know what direction it's going. I would like to see a lot less of the fighting and carrying on. And, I don't understand it. I really don't. I mean, but wars have been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. Makes me wonder if we'll ever in anybody's lifetime experience no wars. Well, I mean, I know when that'll happen, but that day hasn't got here yet. Let's see, what else? Anything fun? Let me think of something here to end the live on Monday. One, I want everybody, so let me tell everybody while I have you here, whether you're here all the time, you pop in or out, I'm going to post a video later today kind of showing you what I'm doing, what I'm working on in the shop where my new setup's going to be, and where your efforts with gifts and likes, shares, follows, super chats, all of that, what I'm using that to benefit is I'm having to move my office to the shop out back, and I'm having to prep that shop so that I can have it air conditioned when it's 110 degrees outside in Texas, so that I can sit and do these lives without a white t-shirt soaked with sweat and sweat running down my face and in my eyes, and so that's what I'm working on. I did make a video. I haven't posted it, but I will post it today. So everybody take a look. It's just basically me thanking everybody that participates and supports the channel and the live and any of the videos that you do. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Kelly, it's still so cold here in Michigan. I can't wait for spring. Yeah, that's funny. And my wife's talking about today wanting to go buy her tomato plants and some flowers, and spring has sprung in Central Texas. As a matter of fact, I was at Home Depot over the weekend getting some materials, and I didn't even go to that part of the store. But let me tell you, it was like they opened up the gates and everybody and their mothers, brothers, grandma showed up. It was packed. I had to park a mile away and walk to the store. It was so busy. And they're all buying, flowers and plants and, prepping for spring, because normally spring's not here this time of year. February is usually the coldest month of the year. March can be really cold, at least the first part of it. Usually we don't start seeing some consistent spring weather till April, but that's not been the case this year. We're already having mid 80s. And that is, if that's any sign of how hot it's going to be this summer, the sooner I get the new location prepped and an air conditioning installed, yeah, for sure. What's this say? Nicole, my area got our biggest snowfall in April of '96. How about that? Well, I can remember a few times here in Texas. It's been a few years back, but it actually snowed here like 3 times in January and then once in February. So we had like 4 snowfalls in Texas, in Central Texas. And it was a cold winter. We went like 34 days, and it was about 13 degrees on average for that long period of time. And that was probably the coldest winter I can remember since I've lived here. And that's been a while back. Of course, we had, what was it, 6 years ago, 6 years ago now, we had a huge ice storm when COVID hit. And that was not a good winter either. 1, because of COVID, and 2, because we didn't have any water or power for 5 or 6 days. And in Texas, I guess it was good for the, generator business, because let me tell you, while that was happening, we're trying to get generators. People after that happened were purchasing whole house generators, and in case that ever happened again. I haven't done that because a whole house generator is $5,000 to $8,000 if you have natural gas. I do have natural gas, so I could put one in, but that's a big chunk of money to have to put out for something that, you know, might not happen for the next 10 years, or, you know, might not ever happen again. I don't know. But anyway, I wasn't prepared to do that. Thanks for sharing, Dave. I'm in the rule by Saturn. Hey, man, have a great Monday. You know, I want to tell everybody that even though sometimes we talk about heated subjects and people voice their opinion, that's good. That's a good thing, because imagine this. This is kind of like, at least when I grew up, it was very common for men, usually it was just men, to get up in the morning and go to the coffee shop or go to a local meeting area and meet with all their friends and people, maybe some they worked with, some they didn't, and sit and have coffee and maybe some breakfast and talk about their day, their life, you know, stuff. Sometimes it was stuff that happened to them. Sometimes it was, you know, what was going on in the world, all kinds of things. And that's very common. And today, even if you travel into West Texas, you see a lot of this. You can go to any small town, local cafe, a lot of places in some real small towns in West Texas, it's Dairy Queen. That happens to be the meeting place, and you'll see, and you know, a group of men and women. You see more women now than in the past, but you know, people in the town, they'll be there gathering, and they're talking about what's going on. They're, you know, some of them are friends, some are not, making acquaintances. And that's kind of what this is. This is like people come from, because of technology, people can join Morning Coffee Talk Live from all over. We had somebody from Wales. We've had people join us from Australia, India, all over the United States. They join. And I mean, for technology, I think that's great, because we get to see, you know, like somebody in Wales gets to see what it's like, and you know, me being from Texas, and you know, when I join other people's lives, I get to see, I get to look in the window of how they do things. So everybody does things different, and that's fine. And so really what I'm trying to do here is build a community so that people feel comfortable. They can pop in when they have time. Good morning, WTF Mike. Still happens up every day. North Dakota checking in. Hey, man, kicking it. I had talked about a little politics and stuff that went on over the weekend, and the weather, and having some coffee. And but, you know, I'm just kind of wrapping it up here, telling everybody that I appreciate all your support. Keep those super chats coming, the gifts, all that fun stuff. My TikTok peeps kicked it today. Thank you for all the gifts. And you know, on YouTube, because it's kind of different, if you send a super chat, put something in the so I want to recognize you. One, if it happens during the live, I'll say something, but I want to recognize you. I want to tell you how much I appreciate when people do that, and that that it's important, that it's being used to you know, anytime you're doing lives, and there's equipment that's required, and there's just a certain amount of expense in maintaining equipment and having things, and you know, we don't always talk about that part of it, but you know, my task is I am an affiliate for a lot of people, in hopes that the affiliate part of it, of the marketing part, will generate enough cash flow to fund all of that. And you know, right now it doesn't. It does help, but it doesn't fund everything. So then it comes out of my pocket. And really what I'd like to do, since January the 2nd, I was dispersed from a company I worked for 16 years, and I don't have that job anymore. I would like this to become my full-time job along with my retirement. So that's why I'm trying to get to the 10,000 followers, because that really helps in the affiliate side of it. And affiliates, the reason I like affiliate marketing is because I don't have to inventory anything. I don't have to ship anything. I just have to talk about it and promote stuff. And I can do that and share it with my audience. So I want to continue to grow the audience. I'm stunned. I'm not saying that it's not growing. It is growing. And it's all because of all of you sharing and liking and doing all the things there are to do to share the live. And I'm trying to post pretty regularly so that, you know, the way it works on any social media, the more you post, the more you get your face in front of new people, then, you know, that really helps grow the channel too. So yeah, I can't thank everybody enough. I don't even know how to tell you thank you other than, you know, the old little heart is because I have people ask me all the time. They're like, wow, really? You did that? You got that many? You know, I don't think, since I've been doing this since 2019, that I have that many followers. I mean, I look at it and I go, well, you know, 6,000 something, that's pretty good. And it seems to continually grow. But only because of what you guys do. I mean, this is all about y'all, not me. Because if people join your live and they don't interact and they don't talk, you can only come up with enough subjects to talk about until you run out of stuff to talk about and be interesting. And I'm really not that interesting, but a lot of you are. And so without all of y'all, you know, then I wouldn't do this. So my thanks goes out to you. I would say today, go do something kind for somebody. Make your Monday count. It's really easy to be kind, and you just don't know what one act of kindness does for somebody. And you may never know, but it does have an effect on people. So, you know, be positive. It's Monday. We're going to start the week off. What I post something about grab your coffee, and we'll talk about all the world's problems and put our boots on and get to kicking Monday right down the street. So it's Monday. I know that, but look at it as thank God he woke us up today so that we can do another week, and we can meet and join and have all of this fun together. So, like I said, go do something kind today. Thank you for all your continued support. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I am going to post that video later today so that you can see kind of a window into the shop, what I'm doing. And then maybe I'll do a couple of more kind of showing you the progress. And then, boom, we'll have the finished product and everybody will get to see that too. So it is Monday, March the 2nd, 2026. I don't know how we got here so quick. I really don't. It seems like it was just Christmas and then New Year's, and then wow. February for me is always a big month because I have a lot of family members that have birthdays, my wife, my grandchildren, my sister-in-law, brother-in-law. I mean, just tons of, every time I turn around, somebody was having a birthday in February. Then you have Valentine's Day. And so I'm always kind of glad when March gets here. It's like, we don't have any more birthdays until June. And so in June, I think we only have one or two. So that's usually pretty low key. But anyway, everybody have a great Monday. We'll be back here tomorrow. If you have a topic you want to talk about, make sure that you bring it up during the live. Send me an email though, daveshop2@gmail.com. Make sure you send in your entry for the Super Clean giveaway. If you have any subjects that you would like to talk about, by all means, send me an email. I'm trying to do some more community posts on YouTube, so that if you're on YouTube, you can check that out too. Anyway, fun times. Nicole says, I want to talk about strippers. Well, I can tell you, Nicole, you have to be really careful with those because when you put that stuff on, it takes everything off. I mean, everything. And so you don't want to get any of that on your hands, if you know what I mean. So there's the end of that. Keep laughing, Nicole. Yeah, me too. I was talking about paint strippers too, Nicole. Come on. Yeah, was it keep up? Yeah. Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate it. Alpha, good morning from Oregon. Hey, Alpha, how's it going? Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. We're right here at the end of the live. We do start 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, weekdays. So how about the history of cars in America? I'd love that. That's Nathan, that's a good one. I'll have to research some stuff and we can talk about that. I'm definitely a car guy. I love cars and trucks and I'm not a mechanic, but I like to talk about them. That's a good subject. Thank you, Nathaniel. I appreciate that. Alpha, just at work on a break. Just checking his Alpha. All right. Hey, man, have a great day at work. Everybody have a great day. Stay on the lookout. I'll be posting question of the day videos today. I'm going to post a thank you video for Super Chat and gifts and all your kind support. Like I said, go do something kind today. Make it through Monday because tomorrow's Tuesday, and thank the Lord for waking us up today. Have a great and wonderful day, and I'll be back at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Y'all have a good one.